So
I don't know.
for a foreign investor who's coming back to India with all the negatives are behind us and valuations are decent. What's the in the next two,
Logic.
3 years? Not logic. What's the USP? Like, what is India going
That's
to
what
be good
the
at?
logic is. No, logic is India is giving you 12 to 14% rupee returns. And if they are not spoilt by 3% currency depreciation by 1 or 2%, so let's say 10% reh gaya, there are only a few pockets which will give you. For example, even in US, you leave out this very high growth where people are not willing to put 100% anyway. You will grow 10% with great difficulty only, no? तो वो पुरानी story है हमारी that we will give you the part which is stable. And for this पंगेबाजी, you go and punt wherever you want. Korea,
कोरिया में जाओ
कहाँ जहाँ जाना है जाओ. वो आप
मुझे
खरीदो.
तो बड़ा फोमो हुआ.
अब
लेट मी बी
micro-
ऑनेस्ट, मुझे बड़ा फोमो हुआ क्योंकि मैंने कभी कोरिया ऐसे ताइवान ये
देखता ही
सब
नहीं था.
मार्केट डाला ही नहीं कुछ पैसा एंड देन सडनली इट्स एवरीवेयर.
You see, Micron was
Yeah.
sand up some 40 times in 1 year. But nobody is willing to, I think, nobody is willing to buy those things now. Some are obviously buying.
It's
So,
more like a trade.
yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody does 100% with that. Plus, I also realize, which I should have anyway, that all these funds have limits on how much they will put in one stock. So when I went to US in April, so they say, oh, you don't have AI. Or I only would say that is your excuse, even if they don't. So I say, you want to put 10% in Samsung, please put 10% in TSMC, 10% in SK Hynix, up for 70. Okay, put 10 somewhere else. Okay, put another 10 somewhere else. 50 reh gaye. Ab to aa do. We don't want your first investment. Out of your 100, if we can crawl in as your last investment, that is also okay.
But इतने सालों के बाद not having a SK Hynix or an Nvidia or a large, company on a global scale is kind of disappointing
But
from an Indian standpoint.
True. But Samsung and all, you first see how much money they have to invest. Even now, both these guys have announced, I think, $900 ki $800 billion to be invested till 2030. And of course, this year, they are going to make, like this guy is going to make 200 billion. वो तो scale नहीं है हमारा. What can we do with it?
Okay, so I want to also talk about your mutual fund business, which has done pretty well, and not so much about the returns, etc., which has been amazing, of course.
But you can tell the world. That's good.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. 14% absolute returns in the large and mid cap category.
Acha, maybe.
Huh.
This I don't know exactly.
And the flexi cap that started in November 2023 has seen a compounded growth of 18%.
हो सकता है. और index का बड़ा कम है उससे.
Not bad. Very good. But the big takeaway for me, and of course, people have discussed this ad nauseum, but for my viewers, I want to put it out there. You have no tech stocks, no IT stocks in your fund.
We have tech stocks. Paytm is a tech stock.
Okay, let me correct myself. No IT stocks
No
in
IT
your
stocks.
fund. You've exited IT a long time ago. And this is very contradictory to one of the largest flexi cap funds in this space.
All of them.
Most of them have IT stocks.
And by the way, I must say that I used to run India's biggest IT fund, which was called Alliance New Millennium. I also used to manage an Asian technology fund for Alliance that was from Singapore. And till 2-3 years ago, we used to have 15-16% in IT.
And now zero.
Now zero. In some other funds, a little bit negative also, in short.
Okay, explain to me why that is.
Because, we have figured out that in all these new changes in technology which happen because of this great book I read, which is called The Engine That Moves Market. But before that, I knew it qualitatively, that it is easy to know who are the losers from changes in technology, and it is very difficult to know who are the winners. So what that book has, although I am not giving this credit to this book, but that book just reinforces, and you can read it independent from my view. But this time I'm not giving it like halo effect. I give them credit. This one I say, oh, by chance they have the same view as me, kind of thing. But this has been written by an ex-Templeton head of research. So for every technology from 200 years ago, he has made there's one chapter on what happened then and what was the market feeling, what stocks did, and broadly who was saying what among those guys, like in internet before that, steamship, rail, telegraphy, all that it was disrupting something, and you knew that fellow is gone. but you did know कि in 5, 6, 10 companies में से who will win. So we figured out in 24, 25, but we sold everything to zero in 25, that IT has two purposes. AI. AI has two purposes. One, to do things that were not possible before, or to increase the scale of things. For example, weather forecasting or drug discovery or some very complicated thing. What is the other? To replace human being. There's no third. Either broaden the capabilities and first or whatever is reduce manpower. तो manpower कहाँ पर है? IT companies. तो वो पहले तो हमें ये लगा कि it is going to drive down. Or now Indian companies were billing, they may not say it or say it directly. Basically, they are billing for hours, time, number of people, which is time only. So if those guys say that we can reduce coding, तो आपका coding का काम तो कम हो गया, आप जो मर्जी कहानी बनाओ. So then we asked a few companies and a few analysts कि in a 100 का project, $100 कह लें, whatever, 100% में, what is each work? So some 25 supposedly work in those days before all this happened was that you will, the customer will tell their own technology guy ki what do they want. I want, my screen to look like this. So what can you do? So he'll say, okay, I will write something. Then he'll show him. Then he will go to this side, which is our IT company, and say, I want this. So the business analyst from this side will say, okay, let me ask my coder that this is what the client wants. And now you tell me which technology you'll use, which software, God knows, whatever you will use. ये सब करने में 25% लग गए. Then 30-40% will be actual work done. And then end में वो testing होएगी, ये होएगी. So this is the 100. Now beach वाला part तो you have bloody reduced it by 70-80%, which is actual coding. And the first part में, the theory is that now the framework, the skeleton can be made directly by not even the IT guy of the customer, but even by the original fellow who's going to, वो अपने आप ही बना के दिखा देगा कि मुझे ये चाहिए.
But that's happening in most industries now, na?
That is what I'm saying. If it is happening in most industries, you remove 30% work. So then, if you remove 30% work, you have got 30% less revenue.
So what's the future of these large IT companies?
No, nothing. All okay, all good. So I will explain. So now you look at it in current context. So the IT guys say that our AI related revenue is some 10, 12, 15% and our old revenue is 85%. This 10%, they say will grow 50, 60, 70%. तो ये 15 हो जाएगा, suppose 10 का 15 हो गया, मतलब rupees में. ये था 90. ये आपके हिसाब से 90 का 85 नहीं होगा? If it becomes 85, because these two scales are very different. This guy is going 50%. This guy is falling, let us say 5. I think it will fall 20%, but let's say 5. Growth 0. Because that went up from 10 to 15. This went from 90 to say 85. Okay, so now you have 15% in AI related. Now one more question I have is, in the last 1 year or so, or 2 years, Anthropic says that I have 50 billion annualized revenue. And OpenAI says some 30 billion or something. Ab I don't know about Gemini, uska bhi डाल दो 20 billion. So $100 billion इन्होंने, the companies, the customers have put, and this has grown maybe 5x from last year. And Anthropic is just today's news only that Anthropic is about to do roadshows for IPO. So do you think that Anthropic can get away by saying that my next year's revenue will be $50 billion? It cannot.
No,
it has to say
it has to grow
150, 200 billion. And we don't know. But the fact that very recently these stocks have been funded at similar 900 billion valuation. तो उनको तो पता होगा ना जो private है, हमें तो पता नहीं. So must we say 150 billion, let's say ऐसे ही. या 100 करो. चलो 100 कर देते हैं. So 50 will become 100 for this fellow. And for therefore plus minus OpenAI वाले का भी हो जाएगा. So next year's revenue will be 200 billion. हमारे AI वालों को 200 billion के connected work कहाँ है? Where is the work that those guys are spending 200 billion? And therefore to implement that we have got 100% growth. Their growth is 30, 40, 50, 60%. There should be 500% growth in that 10% wala part. Then I did one more thing, because I do everything just on my Google only. Ki what is the worldwide, I did US. What is the US corporate profit pool? Okay, just by typing. So they say कि 3.4 trillion for 2,000 companies. Okay, then you add the world also, क्योंकि ये तो US है, चल डाल दो 60-70% US होता है index में. So that means the world pool is 5 trillion. Then you say that is post tax because that is profit. चलो आओ कुछ कर दो. 7 trillion is the worldwide profit of companies. अब आपने 200 billion या 150 billion next year you would have spent on these LLM models. We are not talking about Google spending on the data center, but the company. How does the company care? Company has to only give to the LLM models, and to fund that they have to buy data centers. में company को direct मतलब नहीं है, right? So 7 trillion pool में I just randomly created from 3.5. आपने 200 billion खर्च दिया on these models, 3%. वो 3% कहाँ कट करोगे? कहीं तो कट करो. वो 3% वहां तो 0.1% अगर रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट कम हो जाए तो स्टॉक फॉल्स 20%. सो तो IBM का yesterday they wrongly misinterpreted. IBM is saying those guys say we have spent somewhere else. Worldwide, if you have spent 3% of your profit, pre-tax profit on a new thing,
on something new,
something new, you have to कुछ तो कट करोगे ना दूसरी साइड का. वो दूसरी साइड है क्या? वो हम ही है.
IT का जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स है.
तो कैसे जाओगे?
Oh wow. But फिर see,
so
I was mapping the last 5-6 quarters. IT companies are anyway growing 2-3% to last 5-6-7 quarters.
2-3% में इंटरेस्ट हो तो आप जरूर खरीदें.
नहीं, मैं तो बोल रही हूँ कि आपने जीरो बोला है.
मेरे को तो नींद ही आ जाती है कोई बोले 2%. तो मैं कहता हूँ मेरा स्नोरिंग ना शुरू हो जाए. No, why am I interested? I agree. That's what I'm saying. They are not going anywhere. They will grow plus minus this for some time till either these two balance. In theory, if the AI part of their thing really continues to grow and this part's, what is it called? Whatever, deflation or pricing pressure or reduction in work has come down. तो फिर उसके बाद चलेगा. तो
तब तक तो FD जैसा ऐसे मतलब डाल के रखो.
If you see, even these companies themselves don't know. So how should I assume that I know? Mr. Chandra, in his editorial in Business Standard or somewhere, he said that it's a massive opportunity for India, 1 trillion, पता नहीं कितने trillion का.
What, AI?
का opportunity. Even I think Mr. Nilekani says that, it's a big opportunity for India. But when you say कि hiring, कहते नहीं hiring बाद में करेंगे. So it may be back-ended. It may be 5 years later.
And also, if you look at the IT business model, बहुत सालों से उन्होंने over hiring किया था post COVID. वो bench में कितने सारे.
वो तो शायद maybe it's adjusted now. But I'm saying, and suppose we think that you will grow 2%, and you massively surprise us by growing 2.5%. तो अब मैं उसमें लोगों को हमारे मार्केट में इंटरेस्ट आ जाता है. मुझे नहीं समझ आती है.
fair.
हमें बोलो 12-15%
तब मजा आएगा. But I noticed that आपको बहुत लोग ऐसे contrarian investor के नाम से जाना जाता है. Because I mean, not in that way. Like if you look at
my top holding is HDFC Bank. So then
वो तो अलग बात है. That I'll come to later. But also like names like say Paytm, Zomato, a lot of these names are what you bought early on when people didn't have conviction, and rightfully so.
So that is conviction. That is not. What I mean is, in our research or in our discussion, we don't say कि because ये stock nobody is buying, we should look at. ऐसे हमने कभी नहीं किया. इसलिए I don't consider, although it's one more good label to have. But अच्छी performance आप जो मर्जी good label you can give, we will accept. But I don't think like that because actually I say the other way around. I used to say when people would say कि contrarian works, I say no. People say things are discounted, I say no. So I used to say, which now ये थोड़ा HDFC Bank ने खराब कर दिया, but I used to say कि everybody in the country knew that HDFC Bank is growing at 20%. In the olden days, 25%. So why didn't the stock go up all in 1 year and then never went up? It used to go up every year. So I used to say कि this idea that everybody knows, इसकी कोई value नहीं है, उसके execution has value. So in that sense, we are saying that we are not contrarian, even if everybody owns it, but its earnings grow 20% per annum for 5-10 years. Everybody knows it, but still not discounted.
So then what's your argument for HDFC Bank? Since you mentioned it
before that, let's
times.
go to Paytm and all. So
I
would not, but what I meant was we thought that those are great businesses. And also I basically connect with the US and all. Plus I am more home with Indian realities, which some of the guys who were cynical were not, which are related to that you are not paying whatever you are paying to for food delivery. You are not paying for food delivery. You are paying for avoiding pollution, avoiding
Convenience.
traffic jam, avoiding convenience is one, but convenience के factors हो सोचो. Parking, tipping the waiter there in the restaurant, then for
Saving time.
pollution, फिर rain, फिर bad road, plus, which was my theory, you have just bought a new Netflix subscription. उसको कब देखोगे अगर बार बार खाना खाने बाहर जाओगे? So what I meant was, then I, by the way, told them, they were saying, I said, you have one more point, that when they were in quick commerce, मतलब शुरू में, very beginning,
Zomato.
हाँ, कि you also have to say कि you are a monopoly after 8 p.m. because the whole deal was with Kirana or with the shop. So Kirana guys will open at say 10 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever, and close at 7, 8 p.m. So for the rest of the X number of hours, you are the monopoly guy. Uski bhi value hai. This is a good point, I remember. Very early on.